Is this a good idea? Absolutely not. This is a terrible idea. But is this an idea that I think is interesting enough to talk about and maybe just kind of, secretly want? I kind of do. This would be ultimate chaos, and I actually do happen to like chaos, so forgive me for making a video like this. Today we are going over to the Washington Capitals, the recently eliminated Washington Capitals, and talking about one of their expiring free agent contracts, Maximilian Pacioretty. Because earlier this morning there was a post made on the Habs sub by Twisted TXB. Hey, should the Montreal Canadiens sign Max Pacioretty for 1 year? Now that the Caps are eliminated, Pacioretty is officially a UFA. Okay, not officially, that'll be on July 1st, but still, considering that Pearson will most likely be let go, this leaves an empty left wing spot. I'm guessing Pacioretty would accept a sub $1 million 1-year contract. This leaves enough space to sign Wi-Fi as well. Would this be a good idea? Thanks for the laughs, my Monday was a bit boring. Okay, so the question is, would this be a good idea? And all the comments in this subreddit thread go out there and say the same thing. No. How do you even come up with this? No. 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 Hard pass. No, 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 no. And the thing is, I don't doubt that the YouTube comment section will be any different here, but I wanted to go out there and talk about this just because, it's my show, and I thought that this would be one of the craziest things to discuss. So if you head over to Pacioretty and his overall profile here, 35 years old, he's getting up there, man. It's definitely not 2007 anymore, but 6'2", 216, left-handed guy, left wing, signed till the end of this season, making $2 million a year. He had signed a 1-year contract after making $7 million a season for the past little while. Offensive forward, sniper role, yada yada yada. I mean, this pretty much is something that Canadiens fans are so familiar with at this point that you don't really need to repeat it, but Pacioretty, for a big sniper like he is, only had 4 goals in 47 games played this season. 23 points on top of that too. He really became more of a playmaker this season, and I only really say that because he had similar assists like he had in the past, but very, very few goals. When was the last time Pacioretty scored 4 goals in 47 games as a goal pace? I mean, this has to have been one of the worst seasons he's ever had in his career if you're just going off of the goals. I mean, it matches his early days with the Canadiens in 08-09 and 2009-2010. So it wasn't really until later on that Pacioretty actually became profitable as a goal scorer in the NHL, and of course we all recognize his glory days with the Canadiens, near 40-goal seasons, consistent 30-goal seasons, 60-point guy, and then he went over to Vegas and did pretty much the same thing, 60 points, 30 goals. He was really good in 2020, 2021, but he only played 48 games played. Oh, that was the shortened season, excuse me. He was over a point per game in that sample, which was pretty good, but the season after, this is when you really started to see Pacioretty's health issues starting to boil over. 39 games played in 2021, 2022 is a point per game, which is still really good. I mean, Vegas was a very good place for Pacioretty, but we all recognize that the Vegas Golden Knights are so easy when it comes to moving on from guys that have been good players. They trade everybody away as quickly as they acquire them. It's kind of nuts. In Carolina, Pacioretty only played 5 games. He was not healthy. 3 goals, though, which is good. I mean, that's a much better goal per game pace than what he had this season with the Capitals. But if you're trying to project what a Pacioretty lineup could look like in 2024-2025, let's go over to the Canadiens and their line combinations, because this is where we'll get all of the info here. So, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Yaroslav Slavkovsky, that's not going to change. Gallagher on the left, which is very interesting. Armia Newhook. You have Evans, Anderson, Raphael Harvey-Pinard, Pezzetta, Dvorak, and Tanner Pearson. Now, Pearson, of course, is probably going to be gone. You're probably going to add on Kirby Dach into this lineup, too. So, you're going to have to make some decisions as to who you want to keep and who you want to leave off. Let's just assume, for the sake of making things simple, that bottom pairing Michael Pezzetta is also going to be out, too. So, take out Pearson, put in Dach, take out Pezzetta, put in, I guess, Pacioretty. and move things around so that everybody is in their most profitable spots. If you have yourselves a scoring line of, let's just say, Max Pacioretty with any one of these Newhook or Doc guys, that all of a sudden becomes very interesting, because when you think about it, I mean, Pacioretty in his prime as a peak hockey player is a sniper. If he's playing with two guys that can get him the puck like Kirby Doc can, then I actually do think that's not a terrible idea. The question is, though, whether or not Pacioretty is actually able to be the sniper that we know he can be, which at this point, there's very good reason to believe that he can't. For the Washington Capitals, he had 1 point in 4 games played as they got swept by the Rangers yesterday, which definitely was not good, and the ice time, I mean, he was actually pretty down there in the lineup. 14 minutes a night-ish against the Rangers, but he played a really bad 8-minute game against the Philadelphia Flyers to end off the season. Pacioretty certainly did not have a good year by his own standards, so the idea of him signing with the Montreal Canadiens would be mostly out of nostalgia and reliving the past rather than, oh, we're signing a legitimately good player. Like, honestly, just for the memes, I would love to see the Pacioretty-Suzuki pairing. Like, if you have an opportunity to put Suzuki and Pacioretty on the same line, that would be so funny, because these guys were traded for each other. Then you go out there and acquire Tomas Tatar and have a Suzuki-Tatar-Pacioretty line, which is essentially just a Montreal Canadiens-Vegas Golden Knights trade line. Like, that sounds like ultimate fantasy mode GM booking type stuff, but of course, that is never going to happen. Also, you have to think about the direction that the Canadiens are going down. Max Pacioretty really does not align, even if he signs a 1-year contract. That one roster spot for a 36-year-old guy who is really on the decline at this point would probably go out there and take away an opportunity for one of these younger Canadiens forwards to potentially make an impact and have some sustained NHL ice time. Whether that is a Raphael Harvey-Pinard or somebody in Laval, let's say Sean Farrell makes his debut or whatever. There are a lot of options here for the Canadiens, and filling out the roster with younger guys. Josh Waugh is another name that we hadn't even talked about in this video yet. So the Canadiens, we all talk about how they have too many defensemen on the team, and they're going to have to trade somebody away soon. They probably have too many forwards, even with the departure of Tanner Pearson, to open up space for a nostalgia signing like Max Pacioretty. I mean, we've seen older guys come over to Montreal and have significant impacts and actually be good in the past. I mean, the one that comes to my mind right away is Ilya Kovalchuk, but could Max Pacioretty have some sort of a renaissance like Covey did in Montreal? I'd probably say it's less likely, and a lot of the commenters on the Habs sub are saying exactly the same thing. I don't think I could stand watching this guy shooting from the parking lot again. Given his aversion to get to the dirty areas, he'd be a perfect fit in Toronto and the style that they play. Why would he even come here? He'll pick a playoff team. What I miss most about the guy is the patio-ready jokes after we missed the playoffs. Do you guys not watch the playoffs? In defense of Pacioretty, I wouldn't give anyone in the Caps a sub-$1 million contract after that series. They were beaten by the Rangers in every single phase of the game. I don't know why everyone has turned on Pacioretty, but he gave everything to the team and was blamed for being the captain of a bad roster. I would love him back. So there you go. There's one message of optimism from Message Board. Max Pacioretty would be a great acquisition to this team, according to this user. Okay, maybe not great, but just kinda, they would like to have him back. My thoughts as well. I'm probably over-romanticizing the whole thing, but he could help the young talent. Not just a no from the Habs perspective, also no from Pacioretty's perspective, so yeah, I think most people are saying no here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the wild and ludicrous idea of Max Pacioretty, former Montreal Canadiens captain, heading back over to the team in a free agent capacity in 24's offseason. Let me know your thoughts as to whether or not this would be a good idea. Everybody's saying it's not, but secretly, are you like me, where you want to see maximum chaos and you'd like to see something like this go down? Thoughts in the comment section about Max Pacioretty. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.